All right, a good Tuesday evening to you. I am WBAY's First Alert meteorologist David Ernst. We are doing a live update here. Hopefully the news push has gone out, streaming this to Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, please head over to my page at some point, WBAY. David Ernst, WBAY. It's easy for me to say David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. I would appreciate you throw a guy a like. We will be looking at some road conditions, talking about how much snow fell today. It was a heavy, wet snow, a very difficult one to measure, as we had a period of time in there for late morning, early afternoon, where temperatures were well into the middle 30s, 34, 35, 36 degrees, and we still had some snow coming down, but it was light enough that a lot of it just melted on contact, and there again was a time in there where most roads were just wet because of all the treatment that it had put down, but then as we got into that steadier snow for the afternoon, we started to see it tick back up. So let's go ahead then and take a look at road conditions. This is the current look from the Wisconsin DOT, and you'll notice that most roads in northeastern Wisconsin are showing as either slippery stretches or snow covered, and looks like there might even be an ice covered stretch of 175 there south of Fond du Lac. So very, very dangerous travel conditions, even though we're starting to see that snowfall wrap up. We will continue with areas of snowfall through the next couple of hours. This is First Alert Viper Max. You're looking at 9:20 p.m. Timestamp there on the radar. Let me go ahead and pop up some controls here, and we'll go ahead and just take on a quick radar tour of the area. Let me just get some of my buttons on screen so we can go ahead and put this into play mode, and we'll zoom in and take a closer look at where some of the heaviest snow is right now. Anywhere you're seeing the deeper shades of blue, that's going to be where you've got some steadier snowfall. So in particular here, I am looking at areas of out of Gamey County, right through the New London area, into just right along the Wolf River here into western sections of Winnebago County, still seeing some steadier snowfall, south of Chilton down into eastern Fond du Lac County, and another snow band here, Manitowoc into central Sheboygan County. Looks like we do have a little bit of a lull up around Green Bay, but still some steadier snow, Sturgeon Bay along Highway 57 down to Green Bay. We will continue to watch this snowfall over the next few hours. This is 1 hour's worth of imagery, and you can see that band is rather persistent right down through the Fox Valley, kind of shifting its way back towards the lakeshore here. And that is going to be the overall trend as we go through the next few hours, will be for this snow to push back through eastern Wisconsin, and eventually it will end up out over Lake Michigan, and we will be looking at an end of the snowy conditions, but not necessarily an end to the dangerous travel. We're going to see that persist through the night. Let's take a quick sky camera tour here across the region. We'll go ahead and look at Appleton. This is right down College Avenue downtown. Roads looking slushy. Still 34 degrees here, and there is still some blowing snow in the area, but it's starting to lighten up, and that will continue to be the case. Oshkosh up next. You can see the bottom of the screen there, the flag whipping in the wind. We've got 21 mile per hour northerly winds here measured. You can see one side of the road not looking too bad there, and then on the opposite side, rather slushy and snowy. I'll go ahead and take a quick look in Sturgeon Bay, since that's the next camera I've got pulled up, and you can see at times some of that snow blowing across the camera lens, but obviously we're looking out over the harbor there, so difficult to see what the road conditions are like. And then finally we'll take a look downtown Green Bay. This is going to be Walnut Street, just before you get to the Bart Starr Bridge, right next to the courthouse in Brown County. The road definitely slushy. It's passable, but slushy to say the least, and I can certainly vouch for that on my drive in. Definitely a lot of slush left on that road surface, and as temperatures start to drop tonight, we will see that create problems, or at least any roads that are not treated will be looking at the potential for slippery spots developing. So temperatures right now, lower middle 30s across the area, and we're going to see those numbers drop. Eventually, our lows should bottom out in the middle 20s. So you're looking at anywhere from 23 to 27 degrees, and again, as those temperatures drop, if roads are left untreated, sidewalks as well, they will turn icy. So we have that to contend with during the morning drive of Wednesday. Let's get into the forecast here then with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. And we'll take you through the time period that we're in right now through the overnight. This is the most recent runner predictor. I have not even previewed this, so hopefully there are no dramatic surprises or something I would want to go through and edit out, sometimes I do shift the models around, move the timing up or down, things like that. But we'll take this one at face value. You're looking at midnight here, 20-mile-per-hour sustained wind, gust to 35. That's going to be something to watch overnight, will be those strong winds continuing to whip up. There could be some isolated power outages because of this heavy, wet snow that we're dealing with. It will stick to anything, trees, power lines, and so we could see some down tree limbs, things like that, leading to some isolated power outages. By midnight to 2 a.m., almost all the snow is totally gone. From there, we will stay mostly cloudy. The wind is still up in the morning, but it will be weaker than it is, say, at midnight, 1, 2 a.m. We'll still be looking for sustained speeds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts 20 to 30 at 7 o'clock in the morning. A lot of cloud cover left over. Shouldn't have any falling snow, but travel is still going to be impacted by the snow that we have seen today and any slush or residual moisture left on that road surface. Lunch hour tomorrow, maybe we catch a few sunny breaks there in the clouds, but outside of that, it's an overcast day. And then as we head into the evening, watching to the west, we likely see another round of light snow showers begin to take shape and push on through the area, and that could bring a coating to 1 or 2 inches in. So Thursday morning as well, likely that we will have some slippery travel to contend with. We'll take a quick look at some of the snow reports I've been able to uncover this evening. I mentioned off the top, this is a very difficult snow to measure. You really had to be out there taking, readings every 15 minutes, half an hour, or an hour, or else it was just melting away. So I'm sure that there will be some of you that see these numbers on screen and say, oh, there's no way that that's correct. But these are the reports that we have been given. And I would say, my place in Howard, I would estimate that we got somewhere around 4 to 5 inches, just based on what I saw in my driveway, and then of course knowing that it was melting and compacting down. And there was a time there in the midday where my driveway was completely thawed out and just wet, so everything that fell in the morning melted off. But nonetheless, most of us were on the low end of that 4 to 8 scale that we were talking about yesterday. Red Granite, there was an estimate there of 8 inches. Plymouth in Sheboygan County, Waupaca seeing 7 inches, 6.8 measured in Oshkosh. So there were some higher end totals in the area. But I suspect that when we get the full rundown of reports that come in tomorrow morning, there's usually a roundup around 6 or 7 a.m. We'll see a lot of 3 to 5 inch reports would be my anticipation there. It's a very slushy, wet, packing snow, very heavy and dense. I have not pushed it off my driveway yet. I'm not looking forward to that because I'm sure it will be a workout. Looking ahead, as you saw there, we do have the potential of seeing some additional light snowfall tomorrow night. In fact, let me see if I can find the next day of predictor here, and we'll go ahead and pull that up on screen, and this will take us from 11 o'clock tomorrow night. You see 12:30 in the morning, some steady light snowfall. This is mostly going to be an overnight event. There might be a few lingering flakes in the area over the course of the day on Thursday, but by and large, the steadier snow will be out of here as most folks are taking to the roads, but temperatures will be down below freezing. In fact, we could be closer to 20 degrees as we start Thursday morning, and we would then be looking at mostly cloudy conditions, maybe a few stray flakes flying for the afternoon. But there's going to be a bigger system taking shape, and this one actually looks a whole lot like the system that we were just dealing with, or are just dealing with, I should say. So what I'm going to show you here, this is just the raw American GFS weather model. What you're seeing there is the round of snow for tomorrow night, and notice even on GFS, it's out of here by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. But what you'll pay attention to is that next round of snow and rain developing to our south. I'll go ahead and play this so I can move the map a little bit. The area of low pressure is going to be where you see the closed circle down here coming out of Arkansas. So this is going to be an area of low pressure that comes off of the plains, dives into the southeastern U.S. It taps into the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and pulls all of that to the north. So as this area of low pressure starts to head towards lower Michigan, we are going to see some steadier snow showers develop here. The forecast is not set in stone in terms of snow totals at this point, like another day or so to try and even things out. The GFS here would suggest that we see a couple slushy inches, and I would lean my forecast more so to that versus what the European has been showing, which is a similar situation playing out, but a lot more snowfall. I will say that the raw America or the raw European model, excuse me, has been kicking out some 6-7 inch snow totals across the region for Friday. Now, it's certainly possible that that could happen, and you'll see as we go through time here, that low takes a little closer track. But again, coming through southern Illinois, which is not a favorable position for us to get heavy snowfall. Heavy snow, you'd want to see that low a little farther north, closer to Chicago, but it does pivot pretty abruptly into lower Michigan. And so it's that northern swing as it starts to move, instead of, west to east, it almost starts moving south to north, that we see that heavier snow. And notice how tightly packed those little black lines are. That represents air pressure. The tighter together those are, the tighter the pressure gradient, the stronger the winds will be. So Friday is going to be another day where we see windy conditions like we had developed today, as well as the potential for some snowfall. Now, Friday's snow, should it materialize, and at least at this point we're putting a likely chance for snow in, we're just kind of hemming and hawing over the finer details of just how much snow will come down with that. Regardless, it's going to be a windy one. I don't think the snow will be as wet as we deal with today. I would expect temperatures on Friday in the morning to be down around 20 degrees. Highs will be in the upper 20s. So it will be a little bit of a drier snow than what we saw today. So a little lighter, a little fluffier, not as densely packed. But nonetheless, that is going to be something we watch for, will be additional snowfall. And I would not rule out another 2 to 4, 3 to 5 inch type snow out of this system on Friday. So there is still the potential for some decent accumulation. In fact, you throw Wednesday night, Thursday morning on top of that, there's probably a good cross section of the area that still sees another 6 inches of snow over the course of the next several days, as we likely have a little bit of lingering light snowfall into Saturday. Once this system is behind us, we're going to see a very precipitous temperature drop. Let me see if I can find my extended plot here. These are going to be your forecast highs. The average this time of year is 26. Actually, I need to move my normal line a little farther down. It's been a while since I've updated this graphic. But the main thing you want to take away is watch that temperature trend. 28 on Friday, 19 on Saturday, 8 on Sunday, and then under 5 degrees for highs on Monday and Tuesday. Our low temperatures on these nights likely dipping below zero. I will say that I have Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, all with sub-zero numbers on my extended forecast right now. Let me go ahead and pull up the wind chill really quickly. I know I saved that one off to show during my 5 and 6 o'clock shows. I don't even recall if we actually got to it, but let me see if I can find that graphic here in the rundown. We'll show you the predicted wind chill on Sunday morning, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up with a, let's see, there we go. So these are the forecast wind chills right here on Sunday morning. Notice the negative teens, maybe some 20s below zero into central Wisconsin. Some dangerously cold air set to arrive here as we get into the weekend and next week. And even on the warmer end of things, as we start to kind of pull out of that Arctic cold snap by the end of next week, temperatures are still likely well below average. This is the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. And you'll notice pretty much everybody in the U.S. east of the Rocky Mountains is socked in with below average temperatures. So even on the warmer end of things, towards the latter half of next week, it looks like all the warmer that we are going to get is upper teens with lows in the positive single digits. So brace yourselves for the coming cold. It is definitely going to be feeling like winter here in the days to come. Obviously, it's looking a lot like winter now with that freshly fallen snow. We will keep our first alert weather day going through the night to account for those travel issues tomorrow morning. You will definitely want to budget extra time to get to where you need to go safely early on, just because of the potential for black ice and all the fun stuff that comes along with winter weather. Our high temperatures tomorrow should still hit 30 degrees. We are looking at a cool down thereafter, upper 20s at least for Thursday, Friday, so still close to average there. And then the bottom drops out, and we will be in the deep freeze for, a good part of the rest of the extended. But once the cold air arrives, it does appear that we will see a little bit more sunshine, and our weather pattern kind of settles down. So that'll be the trade-off when we see the cold come in. We are going to see these snow chances start to wind down, but still several more opportunities for snow, and we will be watching the snowfall come to an end tonight. Melissa, I just saw your comments up there about Fond du Lac snowfall. Let me pull up my map really quickly. I don't have too many reports out of Fond du Lac County. In fact, the only one I see is far eastern parts of the county, just northeast of Campbellsport. I show a 3-inch report, but that was at 12:30. I do have a 7-inch report out of Plymouth in Sheboygan County that came down at 7:30. Let's see, if you go to the south, down in Horicon, 4 inches of snow. That was 5:39, 5.5 in Mayville. So I would expect around the Fond du Lac area, you're somewhere in that vicinity, 4 or 5 inches or so. And it's a very, very difficult one to measure. This is a heavy, wet, packing snow. There was a lot of melting and compaction. So if you weren't on top of it and getting those measurements as frequently as possible, it'd be a very difficult one to measure. It's going to come in a lot under what actually fell just because of all the melting and compaction. With that, I will go ahead and leave you with the 7-day forecast on your screen here. And of course, be sure to tune in tonight, Action 2 News at 10 o'clock. We will have a full rundown of everything we just talked about here, plus the news coverage of this snowfall. And then tomorrow morning, be sure to tune in right off the bat. Action 2 News starting up at 4:30 with Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon. Catherine Bracha will be in with your traffic reports as well. So we are going to be covering things in full force. I would fully anticipate a number of travel issues tomorrow morning, slick roads and the like. Cindy, wind will be up tomorrow morning. Early on, I would expect that we do see some gusts that will be up closer to 20, 30 miles per hour. And then as we get past the lunch hour, that wind speed really does begin to diminish. We should see speeds drop off, in fact, perhaps going calm by tomorrow evening. Of course, that just in advance of the next round of snowfall. But looks like that one will be a lot lighter with temperatures as cold as they are, sitting in the 20s when that snow is coming down tomorrow night and into Thursday morning. It will be a lighter, fluffier snow, and we probably see a coating to an inch or two out of that. So have a good night. Travel safe if you'll be out on the roads tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, I do expect some improvement, but even there, anything that's shady or not traveled too often is still likely going to remain slick even into Wednesday afternoon, given mostly cloudy skies and highs that likely stay below freezing.